Now, let us understand the scope of international marketing. What is meant by the word scope? So, scope refers, so I've written over here, scope refers to the extent of the subject matter that deals with or to which it is relevant. So, whatever subject matters are related to certain activities refers to the scope. So, international marketing involves a number of functions or activities, so which are nothing but the scope of international marketing, because a lot of activities are involved under international marketing. So those are nothing but the scope of international marketing. So the scope of international marketing is as follows. First one, international marketing research. Now, any marketer will have to carry out this international marketing research, because every nation is different and every nation reacts differently to a different product. So the marketer would research the likes and dislikes, right? Those are the likes and dislikes, likes, dislikes, then the tastes, the preferences, okay, what is it that they like the most, what is it that they don't like the most, and so on and so forth. So every nation is different, the people of every nation is different, so they will react differently to different products. So the marketing research data can be useful in designing and developing products for the overseas markets. It also helps to serve the customers better, when in turn would help to improve the exports. So yeah, the exporter may conduct marketing research in the overseas market, and mainly to know the likes and dislikes, the tastes and the preferences of the overseas buyers. The next point The next point is product research and development. So the exporter must undertake certain product research and development. So product research helps in designing new and better products for the overseas markets. Product development involves the actual development of the product that can be produced and marketed in the markets. The product must be of good quality and cost effective. So while researching about the product and developing the product, the main important thing that you have to keep in mind is that proper or latest design, right? It has to be cost effective, and the quality should obviously be very good, so good quality. So these are the certain things which a marketer will have to take into consideration while while researching about the product and developing about the product, because that will be like the only opportunity for them to work on all of these subjects. Because after that, if they start selling in the overseas market, right, overseas market, that's the international market, if they start selling in these overseas market, then it will become like a loss for them if the product is not going to be sold properly. So product research and development again becomes very very important in marketing, in international marketing. Next point, export financing. Yes, the exporter requires finance both at the pre-shipment stage and the post-shipment stage. Exporters require a short-term, medium-term and long-term finances, all of it. So, but in India, there are certain institutions that provide finance. For example, you have commercial banks, but they give usually short-term loan. Then you have the Exim Bank, that is the Export Import Bank, which usually give um, medium, you can say medium and long term loan. And you have the SIDBI, that is the Small Industries Development Bank of India. They give they also give this medium and long term loan uh, to small industries. Okay. So this is about export financing, because um, the exporter requires finance both at the pre-shipment stage and the post-shipment stage. The next point is export production. Now, whenever goods are produced for export purpose, they have to go under strict quality control. Strict quality control. Because the reason why they have to go under strict quality control is because they will have to conform to the international standards. They will have to conform to the international standards. Right, the quality of the good will be the very first thing that an exporter must be very sure about while exporting its goods in the overseas market. Then another thing that international marketing would deal with is product packaging. Packaging is basically important to protect the goods, right, to preserve the goods, right, and they also provide a lot of information, yeah, about the ingredients in that product, what chemicals are there in that product, what is the manufacturing date of that product, what is the expiry date of the product, where was it manufactured. You get so many details on the packaging of the product. And yes, you write the name and the brand name on the packaging, so it is also it will also lead to promotion of goods, right? So promotion, so for in international marketing, product packaging should be considered well. Then you have branding. The next point is branding. So it is an important function of marketing. It involves giving suitable brand name to the product. The exporter should take care to see that the brand name does not have negative connotation in foreign languages. The main important thing that the exporter should really take care is that when they are deciding the name, the brand name of the product, it should not have negative connotation, or you can say negative meaning in foreign language. Right, so this is the main important thing, the main important point while deciding the brand name of the product. There are several brand strategies, such as you can say that use of one brand name in all the markets. So you can just have one name as your brand name, and you can use it in all the markets, or you can use the different names in different markets. So you can sell your products with different names in different markets. That will also become like your brand name. Now let us go to the next point. Next point is pricing. Pricing is the most important thing in export marketing, in international marketing. So the exporter, will have to fix proper export prices. The exporter will consider certain factors while fixing prices, such as first of all, what they would want to see is that the cost of the product is covered. So cost of the product, then pricing strategy could depend upon the demand of the product, the supply of the product, right, the popularity of the product, then the what is the competitiveness of that product in the market. So competitive, you can say that competition in the market, competition in the market. Yeah, so these are the things, and depend on this, suitable pricing strategy could be applied to export the goods. Let us go to the next point. The next point is advertising. Advertising is very, very important, because if the consumers in the export market doesn't know about your product, you won't be able to sell your product. So it is very important that you popularize your product through advertising. So advertising plays an important role in marketing of goods and services. The exporter needs to use proper media to advertise the goods and services, and the main reason why advertising is done is basically to create awareness of the product, also to persuade the buyers, and to develop brand image, right? So these are the reasons why advertising should be carried out. The next point is sales promotion. Now, sales can be promoted through a lot of techniques, right? First of all, it helps to promote the product in the overseas market. The sales promotion can be directed at the dealers. This can be directed at the dealers as well as the consumers. So the various sales promotion tools that can be used by the exporter are, you can say, free gifts, or you can say free samples, discounts, or premium offers. So for these reasons, these are the ways in which you can promote the sales of the product. Now let us go to the next point. Export risk management. Now, exporter has to manage the risk. The risk may be a transit risk. One is the transit risk. What is the meaning of the transit risk? So the damage to the goods in transit while transporting the goods, which can be insured with marine insurers. And you have credit risk. Second risk is the credit risk. So default on the part of buyers which can be ensured with Export Credit Guarantee Corporations of India Limited. So there is this one corporation, if there is default on the part of the buyer, you know, the exporter can get insurance from this corporation, that is also in short form called as ECGC. So that is Export Credit Guarantee Corporation. And let us go to the next point, other functions. Now there are many functions, out of which some functions are listed here. The first one is after sales service, right? After you sell the product, it is very important that you keep the customers happy with after sales service. Maintaining and improving customer relationships, of course you should always invite a lot of feedback, suggestions and opinions so that you can improvise your product, and at the same time you give a kind of a leadership to your customers also to come up with their ideas. So it is like a motivation for them to come up with ideas, and it will become a motivation for you to improvise and develop your product. And the next thing is participation in trade fairs and exhibitions. Yes, there are many trade fairs and exhibitions that go on across the world. So if you are dealing with export marketing and export export marketing, then it is very important to attend all of those trade fairs and exhibitions, because it helps you to make relations with a lot many dealers, lot many customers, and it just widens your horizons. So it is very important to participate and attend all of these trade fairs and exhibitions, as many as you can. Okay, so this was all about the scope of international marketing. These were the pointers that have been covered, and this is how this is like the most easiest way in which I could teach you all. Thank you very much.